Welcome to this video on user behavior analytics. On the CISSP exam, you may be asked question about the user and entity behavior analysis. So we are going to cover that here in this video. Now, behavior analytics is just the analysis of subject activity to detect potential threats. That all we are really looking to do. We are looking to analyze how subjects are behaving on the system, and that will allow us to detect possible threats, potential threats. Specifically, we are looking at their behavior, what they are doing on the system, how they are using the device, and also any security related events that are coming from that activity. So behavior analytics is also known as user behavior analysis or UBA. You can also refer to it as user and entity behavior analytics or UBA. Okay, now there's a lot of network behavior analytics. There are a lot of different versions of this. What's most important is to understand that we are comparing the user or device behavior to past information, and that will help us to detect anomalies. For example, when you are on a workstation, your job on a workstation is to perform work, right? You are going to log in and you are going to remote into a server, or you are going to open an application that's going to make an API call to a server or an application on the back end or a cloud-based service or something, right? So this is all normal behavior, this is all normal activity. So at this point, what if all of a sudden from a workstation you start getting vulnerability scan? Well, what kind of weird, because we don't run scan from the workstation, we run from vulnerability scanner server. So in this case, we are starting to pay attention to their user activity or workstation or server or whatever endpoint device is going to be connected up to the network. It would be mobile device, could be an IoT, whatever it is, right? And then in this case, we are going to build some kind of profile to start monitoring this. It's the same thing as like behavior-based institution detection, also behavior-based anti-malware detection, right? We are monitoring the activity, and that activity going to tell us a story, and that story going to be used to determine if this is a threat or not, and this will help you uncover privilege account abuse, privilege escalation abuse, things like that. It will also help you detect data exfiltration attempt or otherwise missed data exfiltration events. That may be the data loss prevention software was not configured to find, right? Because now we are looking at all these different points of data from all these endpoint and everything else, and we are using those to conduct the behavior analysis. So in this case, we are sending all this log everywhere. We are sending them to say a SIEM, a security information and event manager, something like Elasticstack or Alien Vault or RSA. There's a bunch of them out there, but we are going to send them there, and then this SIEM system can do the behavior analytics for us. It can perform this, right? So this is your best defense against known and unknown attacks. So this is your best defense against unknown attacks, especially when it comes to attacks that kind of go unseen, like stealth attacks, where maybe you don't notice them with your normal mechanism. If you are really doing good solid behavior analytics, this will help you detect those attacks that might get missed by an IDS, IPS, DLP, some kind of other endpoint security. Another really good tool is that perform behavior analytics in Splunk. Now Splunk will do identity logs, it will do device log, DNS log, application logs, database log, network logs, you know, break room logs, lot of logs. It doesn't really matter. They will capture all of the data that you send to it, and Splunk can also help detect unknown threats and anomalies behavior using machine learning. Now anomalies just basically means that anomaly or abnormal behavior, right? Things out of the norm, and it can help with advanced threat detection where you are looking at abnormal or unknown threats. It can help with higher productivity where you are putting together a lot of different anomalies into a single threat profile, and then you are looking at it from that perspective, and that can accelerate your threat hunting through deep investigation capabilities and a lot of other things. So Splunk is very good at this. Alien Vault is very good at this. RSA does a great job. There's a lot of great tools out there that do this. But the reality here is, instead of just looking at your logs and relying on your endpoint security, you are now digging deeper into logs and looking at multiple point of information, not just login and log off, and success and unsuccess in terms of trying to make connection. Now you are looking at multiple point of behavior from different user and different subjects and machines and those kind of things, and that's going to help you with that advanced level threat detection, and that's the benefit of behavior analytics. So the bottom line here for this video and for the exam is to understand the purpose and the benefit of behavior analytics. You don't need to know all of this ins and outs, and certainly remember the CISSP is a vendor neutral, so you don't need to know Splunk or Elasticstack or RSA. You don't need to know the vendor, just need to understand the concept and the benefit behind behavior analytics.